Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
You're busy. You expect to say no sometimes. But what you didn't expect was a chance to say yes to a college degree while keeping your life. Indiana Tech is now offering Chicago area students undergraduate and graduate degree opportunities taught online by experienced faculty who care. Learn more at one of the new Indiana Tech enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette.
I can turn this in early? Sure, whenever you're ready.
Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that there aren't very many energy programs out there. When I researched all of the various programs recently, there are really only 2 or 3 accredited engineering programs.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada originally. I came out here to Indiana Tech to actually go for the energy engineering program because of its uniqueness and its ability to get hands-on with the materials that I'm going to be using in the future.
Well, a few of the things I think that sets Indiana Tech apart is, number one, you have very small classes. You have very close relationships with your professors. When you have a class of 10 people, it's much easier to get to know the professor and get in contact with him than if you have a class of 30, 40, or 50. You're going to have the same professors for the majority of your classes. You're going to have the same classmates for the majority of your classes.
The more practical applications come in all the subsequent energy engineering classes. Heat transfers in a class that right after they're leaving the classroom, and the board is filled with calculus. So in order to understand a lot of these topics, they're going to need to understand the calculus there. Calculus is the study of the rate of change, how fast things change. And depending upon whether it's energy engineering, industrial engineering, or whatever, they're going to need to use that and apply that.
Professor Romary, he stands out to me the most right now because when I first got here, I had to take calculus, Calc 1, Calc 2. And he's one of the professors that teaches it. And he was a very kind and helpful guy, and he did whatever he could to help us out. He was very funny, always had a way of creatively teaching calculus to us that not a whole lot of people can do. And I think that and how he did it is going to be something that's going to stick for me for a very long time.
The field work that Indiana Tech can provide here is, for example, we have a 10 kilowatt windmill that the students can work with. We have a geothermal system for a couple of the buildings for Utang-Sioux and for Zollner that uses geothermal principles to heat and cool the buildings in the summer and the winter.
The PV array system, training system that we have down here in the basement allows us to wire up the panels we have down in the basement to set it up as a off-the-grid system or a battery bank system, which helps us because we can see every component of the system actually intertwining and how they work together, which is something that may not be easily visible when you're on the job site in a career. So definitely my internship at Super Value Incorporated was a very, very beneficial program for me to be in. It was more based on the process and logistical side of engineering of my degree, not necessarily the design aspect. It helped me really learn how the most efficient way to do a task and some of the boundaries that come with trying to make things more efficient.
One of the things that we've been very fortunate here at Indiana Tech is that we've had a grant through AEP to help subsidize our students in taking some of the various trips in spring break. Over the last 4 years, I have taken, along with a couple of other chaperones, I've taken almost a couple of dozen students to a trip to Germany and Switzerland that focused on renewable energy. We've gone to Iceland last year, focusing on geothermal energy, and we just recently returned from a trip to Costa Rica.
Just last year, I went to Iceland with a couple of our peers, not even just energy engineers, but a couple of other engineering majors went along with us. And for me, that was the highlight of my college time. I mean, we learned a lot about like geothermal systems and how they converted to a country of basically like ran just by geothermal. But it wasn't just learning about that, it was also learning about their culture as well, you know, and the past and the history and where they plan to go in their future. And all those things combined, I think, really kind of defines my experience here in Indiana Tech.
You can be the smartest engineer in the world, but if you cannot talk to or work with other engineers and non-engineers, it's very hard to get anything done. I try to teach my students that while you may not like writing, it's going to be a part of the job. You have to communicate. If you're doing experiments or testing hardware in the lab, you need to write it up so that other people know what you did, and the customer may want to know what are the results of that test.
Something I would remember most about the faculty would be just the one-on-one aspect of it and how open they are to hearing your problems and concerns and willing to assist you. Indiana Tech, with the class sizes being so small, you really get that one-on-one talking, everyday type relationship with your advisors and your professors. And having that is key to success, I feel, because being able to communicate with them and actually get your problems and questions across is going to help clarify things for you while you're in classes in school, which is going to set you up for success.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes. You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
On a seasonably warm Friday evening, we welcome you to the Schaefer Center and tonight's WAC Conference matchup. 3rd of 5 in the home stretch for your Warriors as they welcome in the Aquinas Saints. To your right, again, you see the Warriors starting to come in just a little bit, emerging from Jordan Rosenberg's locker room as they get ready for senior night, where they'll be honoring some seniors coming up in just a little bit. We'll talk about that in a moment, but in the meantime, welcome to the broadcast booth. My name is Joe Northern. So delighted to have you with us. Yes, you know, it's a big night with the bands involved, but also a big night when you take a look at the standings. Yes, Indiana Tech for the moment currently in second place, but all of that could change by tomorrow as they take on Aquinas, or as they take on a very, very good team out of, well, really out of the WHAC, but a team that has given them more issues than not in Cornerstone. Will still be coming to town tomorrow for a 3 p.m. start. Aquinas, on the other hand, they're trying to get back on the right track. They're 4-16 on the season, or 6-15 rather, 1-9 in WAC play. But do have a WAC attacker of the week that's really going to continue to make some noise, Connor Stotts. Stotts, the sophomore outside hitter from Tomball, Texas. So Stotts going to continue to find a way to make some noise here tonight as the Warriors will look to try to go for 3 games in a row, 3 games in a row of winning at home before they welcome in 2 very key top 10 opponents in Cornerstone and in Lawrence Tech. And, of course, we will have the Senior Day celebrations for you coming up in just a little bit as the Warriors are slated to honor 3 seniors. At least that's what's highlighted for us, that we see Jacob Carrico, Clayton Wheatley, and Austin Runyard all slated to be honored here this evening. I do also see Luca Gabero, a senior. He may have another year left, but if he doesn't, expect him to get some honors today as well. So it's the Saints and the Warriors Friday night at the Schaefer Center. So delighted to have you with us. We'll step aside. We will have Senior Day celebrations coming up in a moment.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed, and also the practical applications.
Very practically, what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with, we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, help students to work together in a group and be hands-on with their the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech are, to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material, and I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out, there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of them.
Coming right back down to center court. Let's head down to the court for senior night presentations, as the Warriors will be honoring various seniors. The first one, Jacob Carrico, going to come out. So a 4-year veteran of this team and somebody who's played an instrumental impact on this Warriors squad. Jacob Carrico getting the honors. We'll see who's up next. So Clayton Wheatley getting the honors as well with the framed jerseys. And opposite hitter, number 26, Austin Runyard, going to get the honor as well. So Austin Runyard getting the honors here tonight. So your 3 seniors being honored tonight. They're also honoring 2 graduate seniors from Aquinas tonight as well. For Alano Alvarez and number 27, Callahan Schwartz, getting honored here today. We will step aside, have your starting lineups and opening serve in just a moment.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260s dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there are so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
Warriors now being introduced as we go ahead and meet the starting lineups on both sides. First, for the visiting Aquinas College Saints, you have number 1, Capel Moala. Number 2, Gage Dinges. Number 4, Connor Stotts. Number 8, Zachary Noski. Number 13, Julian Fira. Number 24, Andrew Jones. In the rotation for Coach Michael Crane and company in his 6th season. Meanwhile, Indiana Tech, not too many changes in their starting rotation. As number 1, Zach Carnes going to get the start. Number 17, Clayton Wheatley. Number 24, Ben Rosenau. Number 25, Logan Gamero. Number 26, Austin Runyer getting the senior day start. Number 31, Christian Cold. And number 9, Jacob Carrico. So, Coach Jordan Rosenberg starting all of his seniors here tonight. As again, the Warriors come into this one at 10-9 on the season, but currently riding a 3-game winning streak in the WHAC. And a win would help them get the leg up on the competition, but setting up for a big matchup tomorrow here at the Schaefer Center. Joe Northern, Esau Haynes, so great to have you with us again. A matchup that really doesn't need to be said. Of course, Aquinas trying to get out of the basement and trying to set up for maybe what we could see a first-round date, depending on how the way other things go in the WHAC. Could be a first-round preview of the conference tournament. As Mount Vernon Nazarene's currently at that 7th, but Aquinas the 8th. But of course, over the next couple of weeks, things could always shift around moving forward. Again, keys to the game, Tech needs to start quick and start fast. They fell behind in nearly every set early on in the win on Saturday against Siena Heights, but were able to really kind of shut it down. And same thing against Bethel, too, on Tuesday night, as the Warriors started off a little bit slow, but Bethel again played them very tough in the interim. Bethel now currently 4th place in the WHAC. As you can see, the traditional team fire up with Dylan Poore and Albert Gabrachek right in the middle of it. Three other games in the league tonight we will keep you updated on as it permits. Lourdes and Goshen. Lourdes on the outside looking in, trying to get back up to the top, or at least get a top 4 seed to unseat Bethel, as they've got a matchup against Siena Heights. That'll be coming up just a little bit later tonight. That's, again, a 7 p.m. start. Well, should be just getting underway. And then Cornerstone taking on Mount Vernon Nazarene. We'll keep you updated on that one as the afternoon progresses. But in the meantime, again, the Warriors just have to win out to potentially get that 1 seed. And that includes next week 2 big dates of the Blue Devils, one here on Tuesday night and one in Michigan next Saturday on the 5th. So Indiana Tech will serve first. They're in their white home jerseys with the orange, black, and white camouflage down on the stripes. Black numbers, orange trim, and the Warrior Head logo at the top back of the jerseys. Aquinas going to be in gray jerseys, the red in libero. The red is the libero. Quick block up front for Christian Cold, and we're underway. They're actually going to give it to Runyard. It looked like Cole maybe had a hand on it, but they will give it to Runyard in the meantime. Leaders in the win on Tuesday night, Logan Gieske picked up 15 kills. Christian Cold with 11. Logan Gamero with 6, as that one's right in front. Clayton Wheatley couldn't get the connection on it from number 13, Julian Fira, and we're even at 1. So again, Aquinas 6-15 on the season, currently tied for that 8th spot, the last spot in the WHAC tournament. Of course, top 8 teams get in, so they're still trying to fight to play another day. And maybe try to move on up just a little bit, too, as that one skirts the upper right corner of the box on your screen. 2-1. Julian Fira to bring it over. 2-1 Saints. This one jumped up, dug by Cold. Sets it up to go to Bosley. Gets it down to Runyard. Now back to Carrico. Up to Cold, off the tip, still live. And they go for the quick lift over from the hands of number 24 and Andrew Jones. And an easy push up front for IT in the meantime. Zach Carnes getting his first kill of the night. And we're even at 2 between the Saints and the Warriors. Great crowd here on hand this weekend. And great crowd on hand here tonight, we should say, for senior night. Middle section completely filled. Well, some seats, but not too many. And the rest of it in a smattering. Shocker, another ace on the board for IT. And off the hands of Christian Cold. Gets his first kill of the night. You got the pep band in attendance. Going to set up for a very exciting weekend, and not just in men's volleyball, but in other sports. We'll tell you about that coming up a little bit later on. Softball in the midst of their doubleheader. In case you hopped over from that game to join us here, we welcome you. Indiana Tech now on a quick 3-0 run to get this first set started, 4-2. And they're doing it nearly solely off the hand of Christian Cole in the meantime. Cold throws it up. A little low grazer still in play. They go down and connect with Connor Stotts. So Stotts, again, a great presence in that upper corner. But now he's going to have to serve it out and away and try to even it up. 4-3 in advantage of IT. Here's Stotts. Stotts now on the other end. Sets this out to Poor. A big dig on the way from Hagen. Get this one skirted across. Now down low and a quick kill on the upper corner. From Austin Runyard. Making his presence known here on senior night. And the 2-year Tech veteran. It's Jacob Carrico, another senior, to bring it on over. 5-3 IT advantage. This one is well across. A little bit of a miscue dig from Stotts, but still very much live. Run up in the net, going to go for Aquinas. Again, the things that slow down Indiana Tech just a bit is, again, just some of the internal miscues that have really pushed them back in some matchups this season. Zach Noski the other way. Noski lobs this one grazing near the top of the net. Brought down by Poor, but out of play. See, it just takes one run to find yourself back in it. And Aquinas is certainly doing just that. 5-5. As Tech went on a 3-0 scoring run to get things moving, but Aquinas now all of a sudden in striking distance. Then into the net it goes. As Zachary Noski runs that one into the net and back to Indiana Tech. So the Warriors going to have to try to find a little bit of extra momentum, but of course, any serving opportunity will get you just there. Daniel Mitson now to bring it over. Mitson racking up 33 assists in the win on Tuesday against Bethel. This one down and grazing and got it. Even at 6. Six Tech with the advantage. No advantage, we should say. But Aquinas continuing to hang around with them. Tech swept the Saints in their first meeting earlier this season. 25-17, 25-10, then 25-20. Can they look to try to replicate a similar result? As that one goes out on the lift. So the Saints still continuing with the momentum as they lead at 7-6. Here's Mitson up top. Gamero shutting it down. Logan Gamero shutting it down. And it makes it now 7-7. So Indiana Tech trying to get themselves back into this one. Ben Rose now to bring it over. Rosado coming in rather early in the rotation, but nonetheless has been known to get you quick points in moments like that. As Rosado gets it on the board. 8-7 IT back on top. Largest lead we've seen has only been 2 points thus far. As Tech has certainly liked to play it close lately. But they need to try to get out to a quick advantage. And a little bit of a miscue from Gage Dingus. As he couldn't tell if somebody else was going to go for it or if he was going to. But nonetheless, it still stays with Ben Rosado. 9-7 IT with the lead. Here we go again. Rosno skirts this one across. Now brought back up to Aquinas and Hagan. Sets it back to Cabero. Cabero passes up. Finds Wheatley. Dug in the interim from Dingus. Now brought down and ready to go. As that was off Andrew Jones, the Portageville, Mississippi native. And it's 9-8. So Andrew Jones now with an opportunity to even it up. Well, it's a loud crowd here today at the Schaefer Center. Here's the quick lift, touched by Mitson. And a costly mistake on the other side by Aquinas. As it was Connor Stotts who looked like he had his hand on it, but brought it down rather than up. So Tech back up by 2. 10-8, Camaro now to bring it over. Camaro launches, gets this back to Stotts. Stotts set it up now for Fira. Fira over to Stotts, lobbed up the other way, down to Camaro. Camaro, loose ball, down, up. How to play. The attack error goes out against Capelli Moala. And the Warriors continuing with their largest lead of the match thus far, 11-8. Here in this first set. Camaro, run, jump, serve into the net. So that'll stop the run for the moment at least. Aquinas now trying to fight their way back into this one. It's currently 5-4 in the kill advantage. Tech is leading, but both teams with 11 attacks and 2 attacking errors, interestingly enough. Christian Cold down and in. affectionately called 2K Christian Cold. And the run still continues for the Warriors as they lead it by 3. Knowing Bosley to bring it in. We've seen a little bit more of Bosley in the past week or so. Really kind of right in to be a clutch defensive specialist. Of course, we say that, and it goes right past him to his right. Aquinas again trailing by 2. Again, Tech has won the last 4 against the Saints. Last win, you have to go back to March of 2023, right back here at the Schaefer Center, where Aquinas topped your Warriors in 5. Here's the push from Rosno. Got it. Gives it to Skirt on that bottom left corner. And the Warriors back up by 3, 13-10, here in set number 1. So 2K again to bring it back over. Already 3 kills for him tonight. This one nearly grazing the top, still live. They go for the tip over to Runyard. Runyard now with a chance to bring it down right away from Colin Hagan. And the Warriors up 4 and a timeout called by Coach Crane. 14-10, Warriors on top as they lead here at set 1 on Senior Day. Back in a moment.
Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees.
Warriors off to a quick run, shutting down Aquinas, currently on a 7-1 run here midway through the first set. Again, 3rd of 5 home games here at the Schaefer Center. A big one tomorrow as they welcome Cornerstone. That's a 3 p.m. start. We'll go on the air shortly beforehand, but before that, another busy weekend here across Indiana Tech Athletics. Swing is wide for Connor Stotts in the interim. So, of course, outside of the men welcoming Cornerstone, softball and lacrosse in action here at Indiana Tech. Right across the street from us at Warrior Athletic Field, it'll be Bethel on the women's lacrosse side for their senior day. That's a 1 p.m. start time. We'll go on the air just a little before that right here on Indiana Tech's YouTube channel. And concurrently, we'll have a softball doubleheader against Rochester as they're in town this weekend to take on your Warriors. So that'll be a 1 p.m. start time for Rochester and Indiana Tech. And then in prime time, 3 p.m., we have our game, of course, Cornerstone and the Warriors. That'll be followed by Concordia for MLAX, men's lacrosse, that is. That'll be coming up at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. So a busy day of Warrior athletic action coming your way tomorrow here on the Warriors YouTube channel. We can't wait for you to join us as it'll be a busy week, but busy day, but a great day. And if the Warriors run the table with it all, it'll certainly be a memorable one too, as that one goes wide. (16-12), Indiana Tech with the advantage. Aquinas getting the last 2 on the board, but Indiana Tech getting 2 quick side outs earlier on, but now 3 in a row for Aquinas. And the lead now cut in half. As Christian Cole tried to go for the dive there, Jensen Urish, I beg your pardon, tried to go for the dive, but couldn't get the cut that he wanted. So the Warriors going to have to try to avenge something, but that's out of play. So the quick side out from Stutz gets Indiana Tech now within striking distance. Jacob Carrico to bring it over. Carrico, one of 3 seniors honored earlier tonight. See what it can do here. This one, crazy low, dug by Hagan. Now they set this back over to Jones. Tipped, picked up by Urish. And not going to matter. Urish again going for some deep dives that think that they could bounce the Warriors' way, but instead, a judgment call. I'd say always go for it when you can. But a tough ball you had to go save one way or another. Served over now by Noski. Brought down. Camaro shutting the door. No, he doesn't. He's into the net. And the door is now starting to creep open if you're Aquinas. What was once a 6-point lead, now trimmed down to 2. Here's Noski, and another side out in the interim. So the service errors have not been terribly kind for Aquinas. They're 3rd in the night thus far. Tech, however, with 2. Interestingly enough, both teams with 3 service aces early on here in set number 1 thus far. As it's 18-15, Indiana Tech with the advantage. Here's Mitson. Back over to Stotts. Finds Jones. Got it. Andrew Jones netting his 3rd kill of the night. And the lead trimmed to 2, 18-16. So again, one of the things that's plagued Indiana Tech is while they've played ahead, they've often had to play from behind and keeping opponents closer at bay than Coach Jordan Rosenberg and company would like. And yet another call for Jensen Urish off his tips, as we could audibly hear from at least our standpoint of somebody saying out, but Urish already going in on it. As Coach Jordan Rosenberg is going to pull him aside and talk to him in just a little bit. For the Jefferson, Ohio freshman. Again, a very young team for Indiana Tech thus far this season, but they've been making great work to try to get things back in rotation. As the side out goes again for IT. As Ben Rosno returns to action, Dylan Poore takes a seat. Christian Cole also returning, and so does Clayton Wheatley. Rosno to bring it over. Tech going with the stack up front. Aquinas going with the L. Now shaping out the other way. Here's Jones. Lobs this one high. Sets over to Mitson. Now lobs it over from Wheatley. Has to go for the reset, and he does. Tip down again from Stotts. Got it off the tip. And still a one-set game. 19-18. Aquinas not out of it yet. And it's been Andrew Jones who has certainly led the charge here this evening, with a buck 8 with 1 point lead, 19-18. Here's Cold. Down low and out of play. It looked a little close to see if that was going to be a side out or not, but it ended up being just that. And so the Warriors continuing to pull away, but only a 2-point advantage late here in the first, 20-18. Camaro to bring it over. Gets this one high. Sets back to Stotts. Stotts again, blocked up in the net by Cold. Cold again over to Stotts. They got to go for a reset to Camaro and Wheatley. What a great save. And then again to Cold! Christian Cold on the attack, and another timeout for Aquinas. 21-18, IT lead. Back in a moment.
It's really important for freshmen to realize you get out of college what you put into it. If you dedicate yourself to your classes and to your projects and to what you're doing in college, you're going to have a really great experience here.
I wish someone would have told me my freshman year that it's important to prioritize, knowing what's important, what's not important, knowing what I need to do opposed to what I want to do.
The two things that I think all freshmen should know is buy a parking permit so you don't rack up a bunch of fines and tickets, and also make sure you go to class, because it seems like a good idea when you're skipping, but then it's not worth it in the end when you fail the test or don't turn in homework.
As an international student, my advice for the freshmen is to not be afraid to make friends, because your friends here will end up being your family away from home.
Anything that you want to do, anything that you want to put on, anything that you want to showcase on campus, you can. There's always people around to help you do what you want to do here.
Make sure that you always take time for yourself to make sure that you're okay, because college can be very overwhelming as far as like schoolwork and friends and sports and just.
Logan Gamero to bring it over with a 3-point advantage for IT as the Warriors trying to shut the door on Aquinas here in set number 1. That one bobbled and picked up by Wheatley. Again off 2K. Now they go back to Jones. Jones to Stotts. Right past Mitson. Mitson was looking for a lift, but couldn't get it to go. So the Saints still very much alive, 21-19. Here's Hagan. Digs this one down. Brought low and out of play for Carnes. It went a little bit to his left. So couldn't get that angle he was looking for to get this one, but it cuts the lead to 1, and Aquinas all of a sudden now back again within striking distance. A low dig from Rosno. That goes up to Cold on the inside. Christian Cole doing a great job of continuing to try to shut it down up front. As Cold on the evening thus far. We know he's currently leading with kills, 5 on the night. We'll have a further breakdown of the stats coming up at the end of the set, but still a 3-point lead. Here's Cold. This one is high and off the tip of the interim. As they made an approach to try to go for the side out, but not meant to be. Nolan Bosley again to bring it over. Warriors up by 3, 23-20. Bosley gets this one up. Now finds Vera. This one blocked up front of the outside. This ball's still live. They go again to Cold. Shuts it down. Cold already with 6 on the night. And it's set point. As the fans debating on if they want to stand up. Now some of them are slowly. Here's Bosley. Out of play. So the swing goes wide, and we play on here in the first. Julian Fira to bring it over, the freshman from Ennis, Texas. Here's the first push. Gets this one high. Dug by Carrico. Carrico gets this one up. Blocked over. And that's how this one comes to an end. Thanks to the quick approach from the senior in Austin Runyard, gets Indiana Tech the elusive first set victory as they win the first set 25-21. We'll be back with the second coming up in just a minute. We will let you know on some of the other scores coming on in just a moment on a busy night in the WHAC. This is Tech Athletics.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
You have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech?
25-21, Tech takes set number one. We head to number two in just a moment. Again, to keep up with everything you need to know about the Warriors, be sure to log on to IndianaTechAthletics.com as the Warriors again come into this one 10-9 in the regular season. They've won 2 straight, 3 out of 4, and have done that all in sweeping fashion. In fact, their last 4 wins have been sweeps, all against WAC opponents in Mount Vernon, Nazarene, Goshen, Siena Heights, and Bethel, and looking to add on to that against Aquinas, and potentially could add on that even more tomorrow with the game against Cornerstone. So Aquinas going to bring it over. So they've got some work to do to try to catch up against IT. Again, the last time that these two teams faced off, it was a 3-set sweep in advantage of IT, as they won it 25-17, 25-10, and 25-20. So, and who else? Christian Cold to bring it over. Cold already 7 kills on the evening thus far. Brings it over the other way. Gets this one tipped down low as Stotts finds a way to break through early to make this one even at 1. So Aquinas quickly chasing up the other way. So we are even at 1. Stotts again leading attacker on this team. 209 kills coming into tonight's match. But that one's set up for success for Dylan Poore. Haven't heard his name too much this week, but Dylan Poore getting his first kill of the night. So 2-1, IT with the advantage. As the Warriors again trying to get back into the winner's circle, try to get up to get all but that 2 spot, and maybe with a little bit of help, could still be in play for that number 1 seed in WAC play. It's been Lawrence Tech that's been right in the advantage. Rotation error going to be called against Aquinas. But the Warriors still would have an opportunity to host at least 2 home games right here in the Schaefer Center coming up in just a couple of weeks, believe it or not. So the WAC tournament begins on April 15th. And there's a good chance the Warriors will likely be hosting at least 2 of those games. Right now, at least 1. But possibility for 2, maybe even 3. But again, you got to win out, hope for some other crazy things to happen in the interim. Down low and got it. Austin Runyard having a day here for Jordan Rosenberg and company. And the lead extended back to 4-2 here in this second set, with Daniel Mitson now to bring it out the other way. Here's Mitson. Runs, jumps, serves. Gets this one lopped up by Hagan. But brought down by Camaro in the meantime. And the Warriors trying to open the door early against Aquinas and doing a great job of doing just that. With Mitson again now to bring it over. 5-2. Mitson. Dug by Hagan. Brought up by Jones. Got it to go. So Andrew Jones stops the run as it stands. Jones currently leading currently making an impact, we should say, for Aquinas in terms of attacks. He's currently leading at 4 kills on the night thus far. Cutter Stotts with 3, and Moala with 2. Meanwhile, Indiana Tech, Christian Cold leading the way with 7, and Runyard now with 5 on the night thus far. Stotts to bring it down. Brought back up the other way. Blocked at the net by Gamero. To at least quiet the Aquinas faithful. Making the drive all the way from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Ben Rosenow to bring it on over. Rosenow got an ace. 2 aces tonight as it stands. Would love to go for a triple if he can get one here. First serve is high. Dug by Jones. They get this one over. Again, Jones blocked up at the net. Got it! It was Logan Gamero up front who had his hand at the block. And Aquinas just trying to run around and see, wait a second, do we have time? Where's this going to go? But nonetheless, it stays with the Warriors. And a 4-point advantage, 7-3. Rosenow again gets this down to Hagan. Hagan brought up, got it. As Zachary Noski gets his first of the night thus far. So he answers right back, 7-4. Andrew Jones currently leading attacker. Did have a trouble with already 2 serving errors in the first set. This one's picked up by Carrico. Down low, got it for Wheatley. Wheatley had a little bit of a generous bounce on the net, and just like that, 8-4. This one floats out on the side out and back on the board for Aquinas. Still Tech has clearly had the advantage, 8-5 here in this set. As it'll be Dominic Nelson to bring it over. Nelson haven't called his name too much this evening thus far. Here's Cold. Cold lobs it up. Finds Cold. Got it off the tip. So Tech returning to that 5-point lead. And ice cold Christian Cold gets it on the board again. With his 8th kill of the match thus far. And the Warriors back up by 4. with Nolan Bosley to bring it over. 25-21 was the first set final. Warriors back up by 4. This one run up into the net, but got it. As Alexander Rodriguez from St. Louis, Mississippi, gets it up and over. Callahan Schwartz now to bring it over for Aquinas. Again, 6th season Michael Crane working with the 6 and 15 squad that also, like IT, very young, swings wide and out of play. Stotts is trying to keep it inside, but couldn't get it. And the point goes back to IT. Again, leading by 4, 10-6. Again, a win tonight would put the Warriors at 10-2 in WAC play. But setting up for that big matchup at Cornerstone, which could effectively decide second place, at least for the moment. Stotts gets this one swung over. Now to Cold. Cold over to Poor. Poor lobbed up in the interim from Hagan. Hagan hits this one high and over. Found the right spot for Carrico. 10-7. Tech still with the advantage. But Aquinas has done a great job of at least trying to shut things down. Point by point, little by little. The most they've trailed tonight has been by 6 points. But the swing goes wide, and it'll go back to 4. So 11-7 an advantage of IT. And the senior, Jacob Carrico. From Louisville, Kentucky, 2 Louisville natives, along with number 17 and Clayton Wheatley on the squad. That one's into the nets. So again, taking a look at least as it stands right now, Tech has been charging out with kills and points, 29.5 and 2, but 4 attack errors for the Warriors as it stands. Meanwhile, Aquinas, 19 points, 15 kills, 5 attack errors. None this time for Jitson Urish. That's the cut he was looking for. Urish again was trying to go for some quick dives early on, but did struggle in set number 1. Now quickly adjusting and getting right back on the board to make it now 12-8. Tech advantage with Mitzen now to fire it on over. And a side out in the meantime. Just grazing the top of the line. Lead still at 3, 12-9. So again, just a lot of shifting back and forth, but it's been really all IT in this matchup thus far. Can they continue to keep it and the Warrior advantage? Fira brings it over. Now over to Mitzen. Mitzen goes to Camaro on the tip. So Logan Camaro getting it quickly off the tip. And the lead now back up to 4 for IT as they continue to just try to ride any quick sign of momentum. But they still have a little extra work to do here. Again, the big thing is to start early and try to get ahead and leave not too much room for error. Another block up from Camaro, but a side out in the meantime. He was trying to find the quick pace on it, but a little bit too much sauce, so we'll go back to Aquinas. The teams have effectively been trading points for the last 6 serves. It was IT getting a point, then Indiana Tech getting a point. Then it's IT, then Indiana Tech, and then Aquinas, I beg your pardon. So really just a lot of back and forth over this past series. And now Aquinas, I beg your pardon, trying to open the door just a little bit. So they've trimmed the lead back down to 2. And Andrew Jones to bring it over. Into the net it goes. And the chant of I don't care incoming from the Indiana Tech bench. 14-11. Warriors with the advantage as they've pretty much controlled the pace and the tempo in this one, but have had too much of that in service errors and sideouts to try to slow the momentum down just a little bit. As Dominic Nelson brings it over. Nonetheless, it's still a quick way to get points in either direction. But the Warriors only with a 2-point advantage. They get this over to Mitson. Mitson hits up for Cold off the tip. That's dug by Nelson. Nelson goes to Stotts up front. Partially blocked by Wheatley. Off the tip, it goes to Stotts. And Stotts cuts the lead to 1, 14-13. Connor Stotts, the Tomball, Texas native. Goes up to Rosno, down to Mitson. They got to go to Cole for the attack, and they do. Brought over by Jones. Set it up again for Rosno. Tipped up, got it! They were going for, it looks like, number 17 to Dominic Nelson to try to get his hand on it, but couldn't get the break that he wanted. Nolan Bosley now to bring it over for the Warriors. So again, still a 2-point advantage, 15-13. Midway through the second, Cold gets it up and got a block at the net in the meantime too. So Cold with a nice run, jump, and block. It's another quick point on the board for IT. The lead extended back to 3, 16-13. Jones. Down low, brought over to Stotts, but out of play. Stotts was looking to try to get his hand on it, but couldn't get it to go, and Aquinas will take a timeout. We will as well. 4-point lead, Warriors trying to go for another sweep against the WHAC opponents.
It's really important for freshmen to realize you get out of college what you put into it. If you dedicate yourself to your classes and to your projects and to what you're doing in college, you're going to have a really great experience here.
I wish someone would have told me my freshman year that it's important to prioritize, knowing what's important, what's not important, knowing what I need to do opposed to what I want to do.
The two things that I think all freshmen should know is buy a parking permit so you don't rack up a bunch of fines and tickets. And also make sure you go to class, because it seems like a good idea when you're skipping, but then it's not worth it in the end when you fail the test or don't turn in homework.
As an international student, my advice for the freshmen is to not be afraid to make friends, because your friends here will end up being your family away from home.
Anything that you want to do, anything that you want to put on, anything that you want to showcase on campus, you can. There's always people around to help you do what you want to do here.
Make sure that you always take time for yourself to make sure that you're okay, because college can be very overwhelming as far as like schoolwork and friends and sports and just like everyday life. Always just make sure that you get what you need to get done.
It's important to have a relationship with your professors, because you become.
Bosley again to bring it over. As it floats out again for Aquinas. Lead cut back down to 3. So 17-14. Tech has really controlled the matchup as it stands, but again, the occasional side out and the attack error has continued to keep Aquinas still within striking distance, and you have to think that an opportunity for them to upset is still very much in play. Here's Cold, down to Carnes, but out of play. So Carnes, a little bit too much sauce on that one. Gets it out and about, and now the lead extended, or it condensed to 2. And a generous bounce over the net for Jones. A very saintful ace for Aquinas. So the lead back to 1. Here's Cold. Cold gets this one over. Got it back. As he tried to get it in front of Colin Hagan, and he did as he did. But it is still, again, Indiana Tech with a 2-point advantage. 1 point in the match. They led by as many as 6. They lead by 2 now. Cold gets it over. Now connecting with Schwartz. Schwartz on the dig. Now finding Poor on the attack. Got it! It just takes a few quick passes and a quickly primed attack to get your Warriors back in motion, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. So we have a slight pause for the cause to get the balls rotated again. 19-16. Here's Tech. Cold with an ace, and in the upper deck it goes. So Christian Cold lobbing this one from the upper deck, or to the upper deck, but eventually makes its way down the stairs. It's not that far of a drop-off from where we're at to court level, in all fairness. And inside for Christian Cold. He grazes the top of the box, and it's just enough to try to shut down Aquinas. Cold again to bring it over into the net. But already 10 kills, 2 aces. Or 4 aces, we should say, for Christian Cold tonight. Roseno's gotten one of his own, but again, 2K, 2 Cold here tonight. 4-point lead, 21-17. And the dunk approach from Moala to cut it back down to 3. Your leads are only as good as long as you keep them. And Indiana Tech and Credit has kept the lead for the majority, if not all of this set. In fact, all of this set, we should say. But have allowed Aquinas to get back at it at some points. Carnes with the dunk attack. Lead extended to 4, 22-18. And now the Warriors just 3 away from going up 2-0. Aquinas still's got some work to do. You get a side out or two, and you get Stotts fired up. Could still be anybody's set. The low dig from Stotts. Gets this up, and a quick answer back from Moala. And the lead back to 3. So Moala goes down, gets the quick dig. As we see number 31, Colin Hagan, to bring it over. But a 3-point lead for the Warriors. This one nearly a generous bounce off the net. There's Poor. Gets it up off the tweeter. Poor had the great setup, and it looked like 31 and Colin Hagan for Aquinas was going for a quick push on the dig, but could not get enough juice in the meantime. So Daniel Mitson now to bring it out the other way. Mitson with the 4-point lead. Dug again by Hagan. Lobs this one over. Blocked up front by Poor. And it's a set point again once more for IT. So the Warriors now the chance to try to shut it down. Fans starting to get a little out here at the Schaefer Center. Mitson, dug by Stotts. Stotts again on the attack. Finds Urish. Urish up front. Looks over to Wheatley, but out of play. And we play on. 24-20. Tech just 1 away. But Aquinas is still knocking on the door. And Alexander Rodriguez, the junior middle blocker, to bring it over. This one dug by Urish, tipped up by Mitson. And now Aquinas starting to feel a little bit of momentum as Zachary Noski goes in for the quick kill. So the lead at 1 point was 5, trimmed back to 3. Set point number 3 incoming for Aquinas. Here's Carrico. They just got to lob it over for Wheatley, and they do. Now a quick reset upcoming for Aquinas. Down low and in by Moala. And all of a sudden, this lead is now trimmed to 2, and a timeout from Jordan Rosenberg and company. We will stay right here and keep it with them. 24-22, Tech is up by as many as 3. As you can hear the Indiana Tech band entertaining the crowd tonight to a certain sports news magazine, but again, the Warriors trying to battle back here at the Schaefer Center. Let's get you updated on some of the other scores tonight. Lords won their first set over Goshen, 25-18. It's 23-21 late in the second. Meanwhile, it's Bethel currently with the advantage over Siena Heights. Won their first set, 25-22. And then won the second, and currently leading the second as it stands, 22-19. Proper time for a scoring update, we should say. Meanwhile, in the other matchup, it's Cornerstone dominating over Mountain Vernon Nazarene. They won their first two, 25-11, 25-19, 9-8 though in the third. So they are staring a sweep in their eyes later on. And of course, the game that you're watching right now, Aquinas on a quick 3-0 run. Set point number 4 incoming. Can Tech find a way to shut the door? Not just yet. As Moala again at the front block. And so the Warriors still have to continue, and yet another timeout from Jordan Rosenberg and company. The Warriors allowed 4 consecutive points against Aquinas. We'll step aside.
Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree soon.
Aquinas now on a 4-0 run. This is set point number 5, if you're keeping track at home. Aquinas just needs to rattle off 3 straight. Indiana Tech just needs 1. They go to Mitson. Down to Poor. That's it. It took a little longer than anticipated, but the Warriors shut the door on set number 2, as the sweep is still very much alive here at the Schaefer Center. 25-23, 25-21. Tech up 2 sets to none. We go to the third. Back in a moment.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
We head to set number 3, and the Warriors with the advantage, 25-21, 25-23, but not before 5 consecutive points, or I should say 4 consecutive points rattled off by the Saints of Aquinas. Do want to let you know tonight's game is a presentation of Indiana Tech Athletics in conjunction with Summit City Sports. Any unauthorized re-exhibition, redistribution, reproduction, or any other unauthorized dissemination of tonight's game without the express written consent of the NAIA, the WHAC, Indiana Tech, and Summit City Sports is strictly prohibited. Off we go with set number 3. Carnes gets it up on the block. A little bit of ping pong action, and they get the first point on the board. As Will Gilmore gets it across, and Aquinas strikes first. 1-0. Again, tomorrow, a busy day of athletics here on the Indiana Tech YouTube channel. We have a slew of action for you. Men's volleyball, lacrosse, softball, all happening tomorrow all day long. And an ace on the board and a generous bounce for Andrew Jones. So, I beg your pardon, number 27 in Callahan Schwartz. So getting awfully quiet here at the Schaefer Center. As Aquinas now riding a little bit of momentum thanks to that late second set surge. Of course, ended up being too little too late in the interim. But now rattling off 3 in a row with Connor Stotts answering right back. And it's 3-0 in advantage of the Saints. Can the Warriors find a way to battle back and try to force a side out? Because right now, Aquinas has done a great job of at least trying to shut things down. But Zach Carnes says not today. One of the things that's given Aquinas at least a little bit of some issues is that front block, where we've seen Zach Carnes and Dylan Poore do a great job of at least commanding the front line. Christian Cold also doing that as well. 2K to bring it over. Dug by Hagan. Connects up front. Got it. To Alexander Rodriguez on the other side. And Aquinas now continuing to ride a little bit of extra momentum as they now lead it by 3. 4-1. Currently IT led by Christian Cold with 10 kills. Austin Runyard with 5. And 3 each way for Ben Rosno and Logan Gamero. Zach Carnes also has 4. Poor with 3 too. Runyard again up top. Gets this duck down for Stotts. Stotts on the other side goes and got it to go. Capel Moala on the other side. And Aquinas has started off this first set 5-1. A quick 3-0 run, and then now back-to-back on the board with a lot of work IT has to do here. They've done it before, but they'll have to dig a little bit deeper right here, right now. And into the net it goes for Stotts. So that at least gives Indiana Tech a little more breathing room here in the third set. 5-2 advantage of the Saints. Here's Carrico. Gets this down to Stotts. Lobbed up the other way and out of play. As Schwartz was trying to get it on that lower edge of the box, but Indiana Tech now quickly answering back off the Aquinas miscue. If they can continue to force those, they'll be back in good shape. They trailed 5-1 to start this third set. Off the tweeter, that doesn't help you. And it's 6-3. Saints with the advantage. It's Colin Hagan now to quickly bring it over. Quick touch off top. Finding Moala. Now back to IT and Poor. Is it off the tip? It's not. High and out of play. And Aquinas just continuing the momentum, taking advantage of some of the IT miscues as they lead it 7-3 here in set number 3. Joe Northern, Esau Haynes, delighted to have you with us. Here's Gamero. That one he did get. Was in that upper left corner, bounced off that line judge's shoe as that was ruled in. So the Warriors now with an opportunity to battle back again. Trailed by as many as 4 in this third set. It's their largest deficit of the evening. Their largest lead at one point was 6. But out of play, that goes. So the service errors have not been kind to IT. They've continued to be an Achilles heel of sorts. Already 10 on the night thus far. Aquinas with 7. And Aquinas also with 6 aces compared to the Warriors' 5. Fira gets that over. Now back to Gamero to shut it down. So the Warriors trying to get back into this. And who better than a man who's got at least one of the aces tonight, and Ben Rosno to bring it over. Here's Rosno. Run, jump, serve. Gets this one dug by Hagan. Little miscue up front, blocked up by Gamero, but out of play. Gamero having a little bit of trouble here in this third set. His second attack error in this third set. And the Saints now absolutely rolling, trying to shut down the IT momentum. They've won 8 consecutive sets at this home stretch. They certainly don't want to drop one right now. Here's Cold, got it. Cold again on the kill, his 11th of the night. And the Warriors trailed by 3, 9-6. They've still got a little bit of work to do up front. Here's Owen Elliott now coming in, the freshman outside hitter from San Antonio. This one's high. Dug by Stotts. Stotts again on the upper end. Gets it back to Rosno. They set up for Mitson. Now back to Cole. Down low and got it. It feels as if every time you've got Christian Cole in your corner, you're bound to at least make this a little longer of a rally than you'd like, or against your quarter, we should say. Because he'll always find a way to extend it and keep it alive for his Warriors. And an ace! Elliott answering with an ace of his own, and the lead trimmed back to 1. 9-8 here in the third. As Tech going to have to continue to push forward. Here's Elliott. Down low. Back-to-back aces. Elliott again. We are even at 9 and a timeout, Aquinas. All it takes is just a 4-0 run, and the Warriors back at it. Back in a moment.
Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree sooner than you'd expect. Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
We haven't seen much from the freshman in Owen Elliott, but already rattling off 2 quick aces to get Indiana Tech down from as many as 4 in the third, back to equal level footing. That goes off to Stotts, and one nearly going out of play. Stotts again to answer back, down low for Wheatley. The senior, Clayton Wheatley, opens it up. And the lead now extended 10-9. As a chance of scoreboard going off, but there's a problem. There is no scoreboard at the moment. Glitchy on our end, but we've still got it cut up, ready to go. And Zachary Noski answering right back. So 10-10 is where we stand right now, as Indiana Tech rallied back from as many as 4 down midway, in the early mid stages of the third. But still's got some work to do. And a random whistling noise over the loudspeaker. Here's Mitson on the tip. Push from Carnes. Does he get it? He does! Apparently our AV was just as excited as well, with an exorbitant whistling noise. So we play on. 11-10 advantage of the Warriors. As they've got number 3, Noah Bosley. This one's a quick run jump serve back over to Hagan. Hagan sets this one high. Sets over for Stotts. And out of play. So Stotts doing a great job of trying to get 2 attackers near the upper top and forcing the side out at advantage of Aquinas. Callahan Schwartz to bring it over. 11-11 the advantage. Here's the push-up now from Bosley. Down low. And a lift going to be called against IT. Some of the fans not agreeing with that. His hand looks like it did have a little bit of a push. So 12-11. IT on top. IT on top of the match 2-0, but trailing in this third set. A little light touch in the meantime from Austin Runyard. And the lead extended to 0. But Indiana Tech has continued to play from behind in this third set, but have continued to find the edge. And who else but 2K and Christian Cold now to bring it over. Cold almost going for yet another one. This one's brought up high. Is it off the shoulder? No, it's not. It's out of play. Jonathan Collins was trying to aim to go off the shoulder of Nolan Bosley, but it was a side out. So IT back on top by 1. 2K again to bring it over. Dug by Stutz. Goes now in the attack up front. They got to go for a reset, and they do. Lobbed over by Rosno. Now sets this high over to Collins. Collins of Rosno again. Sets up front for Runyard. That's off the tip in the back row. Now a push up on the other side. Finds Stutz. Got it. Stotts was looking for Nolan Bosley. And he got him right where he wanted him. So 13-13 here in the third. The Warriors have not been at the advantage of this third set. Bosley again to get this one over. Gets it over to Urish. And they go for the reset. Here's the push down to Gamero. Got it. And Aquinas trying to extend this match. With Rodriguez getting the push off the kill. And the Saints now back up by 1, 14-13. And the chance of we don't care, we don't care. Into the net it goes. It's also the third time that we've heard the we don't care chant from the bench. But ultimately resulting that being a net violation or a service error. Jacob Carrico now to bring it over. Carrico gets this one across. Now finds Hagan. Hagan down low, high, out of play. So Aquinas returning to the advantage, 15-14. Here's the push up from Bosley. Down high, but out of play. Urish again with his fourth side out tonight. And Aquinas now with a 2-point lead. Hagan nearly into the net, but grazing up top finds Rosno. Rosno now sets it out the other way. Lobs this one back, but into the net that goes. We'll see who that's against. It's against Aquinas. A little push inside the net. So that stops the momentum for the Saints for just a moment. They still have a 1-point lead with Daniel Mitson now to bring it over. Mitson, 2 service errors tonight. Won't get this one here. Here's Moala. Is it out? It's inside. And Moala getting it on the board to make it a 2-point set, 17-15. While Tech had a 5-point lead, close it out into the second. This feels like a very different Aquinas team than what we've seen in the other two sets of the match thus far. Here's Fira. Fira off the hand and out the other way. So Logan Gamero answering back at the quick point of his own. And Ben Rosno to bring it over. So Rosno still with plenty of work left to do. Jordan Rosenberg and company just need 9 to close it out. Aquinas, 8 to go to 4. Rosno with a low cut. They get this one down right in front of Mitson. And Capel Moala answering right back to get this back up by 2, 16-18. Aquinas trying to force a fourth. Here's Jones. Jones hits this one high. Back over to Mitson. Mitson sets down to Rosno. Gets it right into the hands of Hagen. And they go to Stotts. And Stotts now with another quick kill. And Coach Jordan Rosenberg Company, they'll take a timeout, and they will. Aquinas leading by 3, trying to get set win number 1 of the match. Back in a moment.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree sooner than you'd expect. Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
It's been Aquinas dominating this third set, and rightfully so, as the Warriors have really had trouble trying to contain Colin Hagen and Connor Stotts, combining for a majority of the kills in set number 3. Christian Cold answering right back when the Warriors need him the most. 17-19, Aquinas still with the advantage, but IT not giving up just yet. As IT just needs 8, and 8 will be more than enough to close this one out. Go up to 11-9 and a 3-game winning streak against Cornerstone coming up tomorrow. Here's the push up the other way. Now they go to Mitson. Mitson sets this one high, but out of play. Zachary Noski was trying to get it down low up front, but it just goes a little too high and too far. So Tech now within 1, 19-18 here in the third set. They're getting ever so closer. Here's Poor. Or I beg your pardon. And Elliott. That's on the board. And Aquinas shutting the door quickly. 20-18. For Dominic Nelson now to bring it over. Again, Tech with a 2-set advantage, but very well could be 1 now. Here's the push for Nelson. Nelson gets this over. Down to Wheatley. It is out of play. So Tech having trouble to connect here in this third set. And now, instead of trying to shut the door on Aquinas, it seems as if it's starting to creep open just a little bit. Here's Mitson, gets this up, down to Cold. This one's bobbed up the other way. They got to go for the cross, and they do. They go to Nelson. Now back to Mitson. Mitson up to Cold, blocked at the net! With Alexander Rodriguez getting the kill, and now Aquinas could sense that they could take home a set and force a fourth. Here's Nelson and an ace. And a timeout called by Jordan Rosenberg and company. Will step aside. Aquinas knocking on the door. Back in a moment.
it's really important for freshmen to realize you get out of college what you put into it. If you dedicate yourself to your classes and to your projects and to what you're doing in college, you're going to have a really great experience here.
I wish someone would have told me my freshman year that it's important to prioritize, knowing what's important, what's not important, knowing what I need to do opposed to what I want to do.
The two things that I think all freshmen should know is buy a parking permit so you don't rack up a bunch of fines and tickets, and also make sure you go to class, because it seems like a good idea when you're skipping, but then it's not worth it in the end when you fail the test or don't turn in homework.
As an international student, my advice for the freshmen is to not be afraid to make friends, because your friends here will end up being your family away from home.
Anything that you want to do, anything that you want to put on, anything that you want to showcase on campus, you can. There's always people around to help you do what you want to do here.
Make sure that you always take time for yourself.
Tech trying to shut the door, but Aquinas trying to at least open up a key or a lock for a key. So they're 2 away from forcing a fourth. Tech gonna need some help here. They go up to Rosno. Little misconnection with Carrico. That's out of play. And hang on, no, that's in. That's in. Into the net, they rule for Aquinas. And so all of a sudden, the Warriors finding themselves back in it. Trying to go for the sweep, but we'll need a big rally to make that happen. Tech out of timeouts. Aquinas still has 1. Here's the push from Stotts. Out of play. Wait, no! No, they saw him up front. They saw it up front and a push off front. And there's a little bit of disagreement on this call, but nonetheless, it is set point for Aquinas. This goes back to Bosley. Tipped up from Taylor. This one running into the stands over the top. It's still live. Back to Carrico. Carrico sets this one. Gets it blocked over. Down low. Got it. And the Warriors are almost saying not today just yet. Thanks to Brent. Thanks to Ben Roseno up front. Cold now back in the rotation. Tech is going to have to try to rattle off 6 in a row if they want to go home. Here's Collins. That is out. The side outs have been a little bit of a tricky topic for both teams here tonight. But for Tech, now trail by 3, 24-21. And Christian Cold continuing to serve. This one's high. Dug by Jones. Jones goes over to Stotts. Hits this up top. They go back to Cold. Got it! Christian Cold the other way. Carried his team on his shoulders. Substitution coming back in for Aquinas as Julian Farah returning for Jonathan Collins. Cold just needs 2 to extend. Cold. Dog to Stotts. Stotts tipped over. Saved up by Carrico. They go to Roseno. Off the tip. Got it! They got it off the hand of Stotts. It is off the hand of Stotts and a timeout Aquinas. Indiana Tech is still in this third set, trying to preserve the sweep if they can. We will keep it right here. Again, tomorrow we go on the air just before 3 o'clock, a big one against Cornerstone. That could ensure that the Warriors get at least second place, if not a little bit higher than that. But then keep in mind, still quite a few games left in the regular season. including the double with Lawrence Tech, a non-con against number 2 San Xavier, and then headed out to Mount Vernon Nazarene. So the Warriors again with a 1-point deficit. Aquinas 1 away from forcing a 4th set. But if they can try to catch Aquinas catnapping for a moment, then we play on and the 3rd. If Aquinas gets a point, we have to extend the match. But Tech trying to go for the sweep. And who else but Christian Cold again to bring it over. Crowd getting loud now here at the Schaefer Center. Cold, high, dog up to Jones. Jones, they go up to Fry, off the tip. They set it up. They go to Runyard. Runyard down low, saved in the meantime. Here's Schwartz, down to Stotts. Cold on the pick. They go to Rosno, light tip. And still live, they reset to Jones. Jones to Taylor, bobbled up, got it! Oh my goodness! The freshman, Amir Taylor! And the set point is extinguished. We're going to extras. Christian Cold again. Gets this over into the net and set point. So the battle continues for Aquinas at IT, and their ace now bringing it over at Connor Stotts. The Tech went on a 5-0 run to even it up. And now set point number 6 technically for Aquinas. Gets it over to Carrico. They go back to Taylor. Is it off his shoe? It's not. And we go to set number 4. So the comeback not left to be revealed as Aquinas will win it in set number 3 as we go to a 4th. Back in a moment.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
Well, we head to set number 4, which the Warriors were down by as many as 5 points in the third set, but battled all the way back in the fourth to even it at 24. But then a service error from Christian Cold after, to his credit, served 6 times in a row, and the attack error from Amir Taylor made the difference. And so we go to a fourth set, and the first time in a little over a year, if not 2 years, that Aquinas has defeated Tech in a set. Not in a match, but in a set. The last time that Aquinas has taken on Indiana Tech and Aquinas came out the winners, you have to go back a couple of years for that, back to March of 2023. Actually, February of 2023 when that one went 5 here at the Schaefer Center, and that one just as close and intense. But the last time this matchup between these two teams went longer than 3 was 2 years ago in Grand Rapids, where Tech won it 3-1. They dropped the first, but then rattled off 3 in a row. Can they find a way to close the door here, or will Aquinas play spoiler on senior night? There's the touch-up from Runyon. Got it to go. As Alexander Rodriguez gets that down, and it's 1-0 advantage of the Saints. So it feels like a different Saints team that is starting to light it up. As they go to Rosno. Can't shut it down. Now finds Hagan. Hagan out the other way. Get this back tipped in the interim for Runyard, but into the net it goes, and Aquinas now again regaining that momentum. We thought it was gone before, but it is certainly back at action for the Saints as they lead it 2-0. Again, Tech led 2-0, but they gave up the third, 26-24, in case you're joining us. So they've got some work they've got to do here. Cole back up front. They get this down to Carrico, over to Rosno. Tipped in the meantime by Runyard. Runyard on the outside, and again to Carrico. Penned deep by Nolan Bosley. This one's down and on the board. Austin Runyard gets it on the board, and now the Warriors have the chance to tie it in the fourth. This feels similar to what we saw in set number 3, which saw Aquinas up by as many as 6 points in the third set. And while IT came all the way back, the Saints ultimately prevailed. But can they find a way to open up here? Grazes across the net for Cold. They go back down to Carrico, and that's off his hands. So it's now Aquinas, or actually, hang on. It's an error that's ruled against Aquinas. It looks like Carrico wasn't going to get it, but maybe a run up into the net, waiting to get the official whistle, or it actually may be a lift call. Regardless, 2-2 the score from our crew. As now our officials are discussing with the line judges to see if they rule this as a lift, if it goes into the net, or what in the world's going on, as both teams talking up front in the middle, trying to figure out what they saw and how they ruled it. But 2-2, the Saints looking for their first win over the Warriors in nearly 2 years, or over 2 years, we should say. Tech trying to preserve a 3-game winning streak. They roll the lift against Aquinas. So a break for the Warriors. So it's 2-2. IT now with a chance to regain the lead. Here's Cold, high and out of play. And now it appears that it looks like our official is going to get a yellow card. It's a yellow card on Connor Stotts. So a penalty against one of really the star player for the Saints. So Connor Stotts gonna pick up the yellow. So a warning from the top official. Stotts gets this over and out of play. So the first yellow, we haven't seen any cards be unleashed here at the Schaefer Center since really early on with the WAC HOA crossover. But Stotts breaking that streak here tonight. Stotts gets this one over. Brought low, got it. Off the floor and on the board. It says, nah, I've still got this. And it's 4-3. Aquinas still continuing to make it happen across the board. And again, both teams just trying to find momentum. It feels as if it's going all into the hands of Aquinas. Oh. And a net call going to go against Indiana Tech to make it now 5-3. So the Warriors trying to avoid a potential 5-set collapse, but it feels as if this is a different Warrior team than what we've seen in the first two sets. Struggling to try to find answers and trying to connect up top, but they haven't done a great job in doing so. In fact, letting the attack errors continue to mount with 17 on the night thus far, despite having more kills at 45. Runyard trying to stop the action, and he does. So Runyard cuts it down to 2, 6-4. Also 2 service errors, not kind for either team, with 12 service errors for Tech tonight, 9 for Aquinas. Here's Mitzen, low graze over the net. Gets this one blocked up by Rosno, got it. Rosno gets that hand in net call, or at least gets the hand in net call forced away from it. So now Logan Gieske entering the match. We haven't seen him too much tonight. Into the net, that goes for Mitzen. So 7-5 advantage of the Saints. They trail in the match 2-1, but again, one set away from forcing a divisive fifth set, which not many of us would have guessed that would have happened tonight. But Tech not wanting to, or not Tech, I should say Aquinas, not wanting to make it easy on the Warriors here tonight, and rightfully so. Gieske with the tip over. Now gets this one blocked up from the hand of Gamero. Still live. This one's down and in! Logan Gieske back on the court, back on the board. And the Warriors trail by 1, 7-6 here in the fourth. And taking a look at attack leaders tonight on both sides of the ball, it's been Connor Stotts with 12 kills and Kempele Moala with 8 tonight for the Saints. And to that goes for Ben Rosno. And the lead extended back to 2. Meanwhile, for IT, besides that being service error number 13, Tech led by Christian Cole, 14 kills. And the senior Austin Runyard, he's got 9. Logan Gamero with 6. And an ace on the board. So another one for Andrew Jones. And the 10th ace of the night for the Saints. And the lead extended to 3. Here's Jones again. Gets this across. It's down to Gamero, right into the face of Zachary Dusky. Or Gieske, I beg your pardon. We hadn't seen too much of him tonight, but he's certainly making a difference here in the fourth with 2 out of the 5 kills to make it now 9-7. Aquinas still with the lead. Tech trying to find some new life to close this one out. Here's Elliott to bring it over. That's down low. High and inside. Another side out. Not going the way of the Warriors, as Aquinas has done a great job of really utilizing those corners here tonight. So the Saints extending their lead to 3, 10-7 in the fourth. Here's Gieske. Bobbled down, doesn't matter, got it. So Logan Gieske has been the story, getting back-to-back kills here in set number 4. He is going to come out on the rotation. It looks like Mitson's also going to come out too, as we'll see the return of Austin Runyard and Nolan Bosley. Bosley tonight with a service error, 6 digs on the board. Here's the push from Rodriguez. Now it goes back to Runyard. Gets it dug by Hogan. Now back up to Stotts. Stotts finds Carrico. Then to Cold. Cold down low! And beats Andrew Jones to the attack. So Christian Cold, another one on the board for him. And the lead back to 1. The Warriors going to have to find some momentum here. So they go to Fear. That's off the hands of Runyon, and we continue. 11-5 advantage of the Saints. As the Warriors, again, credit for battling back from behind, but at the same time, have had to really try to fight against some momentum of Aquinas late here in this third set, or late here in the match. And the dig up from Hagan. Hagan got it to go. From Alexander Rodriguez. The lead extended back to 3, 12-9. Late here in, late in the match, but midway through set number 4. It's Alexander Rodriguez doing great work in this fourth set. Runyard gets it on the board. He's now entered double digits tonight. And it's 12-10. The Warriors trying to battle back in this one. And who else do they need but the man that fired up the comeback late in the third? It's 2K Christian Cold. Cold gets it across. Gets this out to Schwartz. Schwartz blocked up, got it. With Connor Stotts continuing to mount the attack this evening. With 14 kills on the board. Before coming into tonight's, he got Attacker of the Week honors. 209 on the season. For number 4, the sophomore outside hitter. And the dunk kill from Fernandez. And now the Saints riding on house money with all the momentum in the world, as the Warriors have struggled to find an answer for Aquinas in this third. Well, they've struggled to find an answer in the third set. They're certainly struggling here in the fourth, as that one floats out of play. So a loss tonight would put Tech all but third place. Would not necessarily lock up third place, because, again, if Bethel finds a way up there, Tech could drop down to as many as 4 should the Warriors potentially go on a losing skid. We don't want that, of course. We want the Warriors to find a way to come back and get a W here. But another miscue against Indiana Tech now makes it 15-11. And an upset is certainly brewing here at the Schaefer Center tonight. We'll get you updated on some of the other action as it progresses, but an upset certainly brewing here in Fort Wayne tonight. Here's Urish. Gets this one down in time after Stotts, but out of play. So a sigh of relief and a little more breathing room for IT as they have to continue to try to counter back and bounce back. With Daniel Mitson now the other way. Mitson, the Bulgarian setter. This freshman Bulgarian setter, we should say. Here's Stotts, got it off the tip. Does a great job of forcing attackers up front to try to go for the block, but then commands more of a punch on the swing. And that gets Aquinas now up 16-12. And for Stotts, his 15th kill of the night. Here's Fira. Goes up to Mitson. That's close. A reach over from Zachary Noski. You won't win that every time. And Noski didn't win on that one. So the reach over against Noski. As Ben Rosno now quickly to bring it over. It's 16-13 rather. Tech still having to play from behind. Low dig from Hagan. Now back down to Carrico. Carrico sets over to Mitson. Mitson down to Cold. Off the tip. Christian Cold again. Carrying his team on the shoulders, on his shoulders. And the Warriors now battling back here in the fourth set to try to close this one out. Rosno again to bring it over. This one's high. Down back to Fira. Sets it down to Moala. Tipped over from Gieske. Off the armbar! The same reach over, in the same arm he reached over, was the one he got a bad bounce from. It's Zachary Noski. Warriors trail by 1. Back in a moment.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree sooner than you'd expect.
16-15 IT trying to close it out here in set number 4. Aquinas trying to fight to force a 5th. If that would be the case, it'd only be the second 5th set match this season here at the Schaefer Center. Gieske lobs it off Stotts into the stands, and we are tied. A methodical attach coming in from Logan Gieske, who's made his presence known with 5 fourth set kills. And we are even at 16 here in the 4th. Rosno on a great rally right now, wants to keep it going. Here's Rosno. Gets it across to Stotts and an ace! Christian Cold got everybody on their feet in the 3rd. Now it's Ben Rosno lighting everybody up here in the 4th. And a 1-set game. an advantage of IT. In a 1-point game, an advantage of IT. Rosno hits it over. Now finds Alvarez. Tipped over the other way. They battle it back to Gieske. Oh, to Cole. Still would have been 4. And we are tied at 17. The quad hit not going to go, as we are even at 17 here in the 4th. As the Warriors again bending but not breaking. But certainly want to avoid the breakdown. Here's Jones to get it over. Finds Carrico. Carrico down to Gieske. Right off Jones. 18-17. So now we'll see Owen Elliott to bring it over. Elliott, who we hadn't seen much of until tonight. We have some finals. Lord sweeps Goshen. That is off of Rosno. Still live down to Gieske. Get those in a second. Here's Noski. Hits this one over. They got to go back to Stotts. And it's out. It took a second to figure out if that was off somebody, but it wasn't. But a great lean, it looks like, away from Gieske to get the extra point. Another game in progress in their 4th set. Bethel leading Siena Heights 2-1. Carnes gets it right on top of Julian Fira. And now the Warriors getting that surge of momentum they've desperately needed. Late here in the 4th set, 20-17. And the Warriors keep it alive and shut the door of the Saints. Goes over to Hagan. Blocked up again to Carnes. Still live, still in play. They go to Stotts. Sets this back up. Blocked up and again. Dug by Rosno. They go again to Gieske. Off the hand of Fira. Way back to the band. Finds Jones. Stotts now on the reset. This could be prime time. Carnes into the net. Had that gone over right in front of Stotts, the student section across from us would have absolutely leapt on their feet. But instead, it's an Aquinas point. And the Saints are not out of it yet. Attack went on prolonged runs in the 3rd and the 4th. It wasn't enough in the 3rd. Can they hopefully get just enough to finish in the 4th? Christian Cole says, yes, sir. What can you say about Christian Cole that hasn't been said already? 17 kills tonight. And 4 aces. For the Denmarkian native. There's Stotts off the chest on the board. Stotts also, too, having a heck of a lineup sheet tonight here at Indiana Tech. 15 kills for him with 2 aces, 22 receptions, 9 digs, 17 points overall for him. Callahan Schwartz to bring it over for the Saints. They trail by 2, 21-19. Tech trying to shut the door. Here's Rosno. Off Schwartz, a little bit of a trip and collision. Picked up, saved by Stotts out of play. And now Aquinas trying to come back. 21-20. The Saints on a 3-0 run. And Schwartz again continuing to bring it over despite the collision earlier. They found a way to get a point, so credit to the Saints. Runyard gets the dig down, still live for Jones, blocked up, still in play. They go down to Carrico. We are even at 21. And the comeback is well and alive for the Saints. Tech needs to find a way to shut this one down if they can. Here's Runyard. Gets this one across. Finds Jones. Jones sets up top the other way. That's off the tip. And Aquinas on a 5-0 run, battling all the way back. And Jordan Rosenberg and company take a timeout. We will as well. 21-22, Aquinas back up front. God. This will not end. (22-21). Aquinas making a 5-0 run on their own to fight back on their end, as they've still got some work left to do and try to force a fifth set. Indiana Tech just need 4 points to call it a day. But can they get there? We shall see. This goes over to Hagan. Hagan down low, off the hand of Cold. And Aquinas keeping it alive, 23-21. I was getting ready to force a fifth and divisive set here at the Schaefer Center. Here's the other approach. Off Runyard, off the top and on the board. And it's a set point for the Saints. Is Indiana Tech. Since the start of the third set, it's been a completely different match. And Aquinas has turned on the Jets and then some, with Callahan Schwartz bringing it over. Finding Cold. We're going 5. As Aquinas comes back in set 4 to force a fifth and divisive set here at the Schaefer Center. So you can see some of the frustration on the board from Indiana Tech as they're doing the coin toss down low. We'll step aside. We're going to 5 here at the Schaefer Center.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260s dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there are so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
So we go to a fifth and divisive set, something that we didn't expect to happen a little over an hour ago, but now it's Aquinas riding with the momentum. Indiana Tech has not looked the same since midway through set number 3. They did battle back, but ultimately the fall in set 3 and then set 4, the quick serving of number 27 in Callahan Schwartz, continuing to mount the run as Aquinas just rattled off, I believe, 4 consecutive points. Yep, 5 consecutive points to get on the board as we go to an ever divisive fifth set. So Mitzen to bring it over. Again, 15 is the rule here. Here's Stotts, got it. And Aquinas strikes first, 1-0. So senior night celebrations could very well be turning sour, and the 2-game win streak could come to an end. Here's Stotts the other way. Gets with Carrico. Lob back to Rosno. Got it. Then Rosno gets it up the other way. We've got ourselves an even match at 1-1. Again, first to 15 will win it. And the Warriors still very much alive, but gonna have to forget everything that's happened in the first couple of sets, or the last 2 sets, I should say, to try to counter back, but the service errors certainly won't get you there. The 15th tonight for IT and 20 attack errors for the Warriors. Aquinas only with 15 and 10 attack versus service errors, mind you. Here's Hagan. Off the top on the board. Aquinas now 3-1 advantage over IT. A game that's really kind of thrown the Warriors out of sorts. It's been Aquinas, which credit to them, instead of rolling over down 2-0, finding a way to battle back. Logan Gieske answering right back with a kill of his own. Someone we didn't see too much of in the first few sets, but really lighted it up in the fourth, picking up 5 kills on the board. And now the Warriors again with a chance to tie it. And they go to Owen Elliott in the meantime. Here's Elliott up top. And an ace! They must have read the ball wrong, but nonetheless, an ace on the board. And IT now with an opportunity to try to pull ahead here in this divisive fifth set. Elliott gets it across with the sneaky tip of Zachary Noski. And he answers right back. And the lead back to 1 for the Saints, 4-3 here in the fifth. And again, momentum shifted towards the Warriors, but then it went all back into a vacuum for the Saints, it seems like, tonight. fire. Now back up to Cole. Tips. And off the hands. So even at 4. Christian Cole is 18th of the night thus far. And for the freshman, could very well be a near season high. In fact, it is a season high for him. We can confirm that. That's still live, and now that's out. From the push of Zachary Noski. So 5-4. It's Aquinas in the lead. Saints have not defeated IT since February of 2023. But now they are 10 points away from doing so. Tech trying to knock on the door to try to erase this 2-set deficit. There's a push from Morozno on the other side. So Christian Cole again to bring it over. Again, if you were with us in the third, went on a 6-serve rally to try to get the Warriors even at 24. Ultimately did fall short. But can they try to pull away late here? Is that out and in? It is out! It is out! I am not sure how that could have been out, if it maybe grazed the line or hit the outer edge on top. The line judge did not signal otherwise. 6-5, Aquinas. Rosno to answer back. That one is in. So Rosno answering right back. But a close call, and close calls have been the story here in this matchup overall. As the Warriors led by 2 sets, then trailed. That one's out of play, and now Aquinas on the inside track. 7-6 here in the 5th. Aquinas on the season as it stands. 1-9 in league play, 6-15 overall. And knowing how things could shake out, potentially could shake out, Aquinas may very well see IT again in the opening round of the WAC tournament. The swing goes wide, 8-6. But if they continue to fall down, then maybe they won't. As Aquinas hits 8, sides will be switching. And if you're Bethel, you're definitely looking at this game with increased intrigue, since you got the win tonight over Siena Heights. And if Tech loses to either Cornerstone and maybe stub their toe again along the way, again, the remaining WAC opponents that the Warriors have, you have 2 dates with Lawrence Tech, 1 with Cornerstone, and 1 with Mount Vernon Nazarene. So the Warriors could just be looking at that 3 line, as that is hit high by Rosno. Still live the other way. Off the top, on the board. It's the first time that we've seen a ball ruled off the top to get on the board, but that's exactly what has happened here tonight. So the Warriors down by 1, 8-7. They led the match 2-0, but then Aquinas stormed back and won 2 sets of their own, forcing this 5th. It's the second 5th game match of the season and in league play. Into the net that goes for Mitson. First one was the winner against Lourdes on Valentine's Day. Connor Stats to bring it over, but now Aquinas trying to be the road Warriors, the road dogs, and upset currently number 2 in the league at IT. Here's Gieske, dug by Stats. They get it up to Moala. Now up high the other way, down to Rosno! Out of play! They rule it out. I'm not sure about that. as Tech will take a timeout. 10-7. As it looks like it might have grazed off the fingertips of Callahan Schwartz again. We are at a higher angle. We're not at ground floor, so we can't necessarily tell you one or the other, but definitely some intriguing rulings that we've seen tonight on both sides of the ball. But Aquinas now 5 points away from getting their first win against Tech in over 2 seasons. And in fact, they did that in 5. And it's the first 5-game match in a month, it seems like, in the WHAC in league play. There were some in Bonaparanas at the non-con last weekend, but the last 5-game match, you have to go back to February 25th when Siena Heights and Lourdes went the distance. The Saints getting the win on that one. And Aquinas, just like tonight, going the distance in 5, getting the win over the Goshen Maple Leafs. So Indiana Tech still with some work to do. They trail by 3, 10-7 in the 5th. Aquinas trying to play spoiler here tonight. And Connor Stats is the man they're looking for to make it happen. Dug by Urish. They get this down to Rosno. High and out of play. So Ben Rosno going to get credit for the attack. And now off to serve. Again, a great weapon in the serving arsenal for Jordan Rosenberg and company. Can Rosno open the door? There's Moala, tipped, out of play. And now Aquinas knocking on the door for a win. Indiana Tech fighting to stay alive here in this one. Here's Mitson. Gets this down to Gieske. That's batted high into the stands. So Gieske again, a late set surgence for him. But can Tech find enough in the tank to close this out? They trail by 2. Only 3 left to give. Clock still going. Here's Stotts the other way. That's blocked up, down, and way out of play. Moala forces it out on the other side. And the Warriors now within 1 and a timeout by Aquinas. We'll step aside. Warriors, are they on the way back? We'll find out.
Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree sooner than you'd expect. Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
You want to know what?
Well, here we go. 11-10. Tech has been playing from behind in this matchup since set number 3. As it's felt like a completely different ball game, but the Warriors want to find a way to shut the door on the Saints. That is off the head and on the board. And another late push coming in from Capel Moala. 12-10, the Saints with the advantage. Julian Farah to bring it over. Again, a game that Tech has won more on kills, 23 attack errors, and the 17 service errors. Certainly coming back to haunt IT as it stands right now. Cold with a great swing, still a 1-point game. So Christian Cold again lighting it up back up front. Will they continue to push him up front? They have number 3 in Nolan Bosley to bring it over. Bosley on the chip. Gets this one high, down low, and got it for Zachary Noski. Aquinas within 2. Can the Saints find a way to get a pivotal road upset? They're awfully close to doing so right now. Here's Jones. High, back to Carrico. Down low, blocked up by Noski. And now the Saints are 1 away and a timeout from Jordan Rosenberg and company. So 14-11, it's just 1 point away for the Saints to come back and shock Indiana Tech, who have not beaten the Warriors in over 2 years, and spoiling the senior night celebrations and dropping the Warriors back to 500. And even more, pushing them down in the WAC standings, which would take them down to 9-3. And with some of the other games going on tonight, it would put them at that 3 line with Cornerstone. Cornerstone with that tie advantage in the head-to-head as it stands. But of course, Tech could try to find a way to reverse that tomorrow. But even at that, it's looking like the 3 line may be the way that the Warriors may be going here. So 14-11. Aquinas 1 point away. Tech trying to stay alive. Here's Jones. Jones gets this across. Finds Mitson. Goes back to Cold, sets it up again for Jones. Blocked up and away, down low, Jones still alive. Point on the board. A double hit called against the Saints. So Indiana Tech still in it as they trail, or as they lead, I should say, trail by 2. Still need to find a way. And it looks like there's a debate on the floor to see if they ruled it a double or not. Oh, it's a jump. The point's taken off. No double will be called. So instead, it'll be a reset and a jump point. And a big break for the Saints. Here's Jones. Back to Mitson. Gets the tip up to Cold. Sets up for Jones. They go to Stotts. Down to Rosno. Still alive. Back to Carrico. Sets up to Cold. That's out. It's over. Aquinas has shocked Indiana Tech on senior night as they win it in 3 straight after being down 2-0 here in this one. So the senior day festivities spoiled by the Saints as they win it 21-25, 23-25, 26-24, 25-11, 25-21, and 15-11. Player of the game has to go to a senior who really lit it up today for IT. And Austin Runyer, 10 kills off the 3 attack errors, good for a 304 percentage. We'll see you tomorrow as the Warriors take on Cornerstone. For all of us here at Indiana Tech Athletics, Joe Northern saying so long from the Schaefer Center.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.